From J.R.R. Tolkien to George R.R. Martin, nerds are passionate about a lot of things, but there's something they love above all else, and that is correcting people. This is Actually. Joining us today, we have Allie Beardsley.
Hello.
Zach Sherwin. And Siobhan Thompson.
Guys, I'm reading the Broken Earth trilogy right now, and you have to get on this. They're really good.
We're gonna edit that out. Edit out all recommendations of good books.
If you check out online, you can use my discount code, which is Siobhan2018.
If they just send me more copies of the same books, and I'm in it.
Go to Amazon.com/Siobhan. I have a special. I get a little kickback every time we go there. So if you're not familiar with how the game works, it's very simple. I have here a stack of statements. These are false statements about the franchises that are nearest and dearest to your hearts, or if not your hearts, someone's hearts. It's up to you to find the thing that I've said that is wrong, buzz in and correct me. There's only 2 rules. You must precede all your corrections with the phrase, actually. If you don't, you won't get a point. The other is that you can interrupt me at any time. You don't need to wait to hear the point I'm making. You can just interrupt me and prove that you know that I am wrong. Let's jump right in. This first question is about Harry Potter.
Ooh.
The Hippogriff Buckbeak is saved in The Prisoner of Azkaban when Harry and Hermione steal a time turner from Professor Yes, Siobhan.
Actually, they do not steal the time turner. Dumbledore gives it to them.
That's correct. They don't steal it. Hermione is given a time turner so she can take extra classes.
Extra classes. Dude, she just wants to take those arithmancy classes.
Yeah.
Gotta do magic math.
She's so cool, and I'm so proud of her.
I love her.
Do they say maths?
They do. They say math.
They.
Those wizards.
Yeah.
It's a crazy wizard word. It's called maths. Wizards drive on the other side of the road.
It's easy to joke about, though, but I know so many people who would have used a time machine just so that they could take extra math classes.
I would use a time turner solely for procrastination, right? It
yeah.
would be like, I have to get this thing done. Well, all right.
Could you fast forward to when you had somehow already done it without ever actually doing it?
That sounds
That I
like the
would do.
kind of time machine that I would want to
Yeah,
use.
because there's definitely like been times where I've been like, I know I'm gonna meet this deadline. I know I'll finish it and it will be fine. And it's just gonna be a real slog to get there.
Right. Could you jump forward to the point in the future where like you already traveled back in time and killed Hitler and everything is great, but like you didn't actually have to do the unpleasant job
kill
of
a
killing
baby?
Hitler?
I'm going to skip ahead 15 minutes, and in that 15-minute span, that's the span where I would have jumped back in time and taken care of all this stuff. So 15 minutes from now is when I will have already corrected the timeline.
It's just
Great.
like killing Hitler is such a slog. Like, I know I'm gonna kill
do it.
Hitler.
I know exactly what it
You gotta find the right
Cut
costume.
straight.
Like,
Why are you wearing a costume when you kill Hitler?
because you're going back in time, you want to be incognito.
Oh, like a uniform?
Yeah.
Or like,
No,
oh,
Siobhan's just
uniform.
cosplaying. She's like,
she's
I-
in a ladybug outfit. Die, Hitler!
I'd be a minion to kill Hitler.
One of the craziest
baby.
parts of history. Hitler was killed by a woman in a ladybug costume with a Luger. This is about Animorphs. Tobias Santorelli becomes a Nothlit, an Andalite word for one who is trapped in their current body, when he is turned into a red-tailed hawk by a fearsome piece of Yerk technology known as the Morph Gun. Zach.
That your technology wasn't fierce.
Nope, sorry. I like that you're focusing on the adjective, but no. Siobhan.
Actually, he's not stuck in a red tail hawk thing. He can change back and forth.
No, he is stuck. Allie.
Actually, he's not forced to stay like that because of a morph gun. It's something else.
That's correct. Can you be more specific?
It's called a morph trigger.
You're correct in what is wrong. You're way wrong on what it is. I'm feeling generous. You will have a point.
The king of points.
Nice.
He's not trapped when he's hit by a morph gun. All the Animorphs were given the ability to morph by Andalites, the aliens who give them this technology that is a boon. But if you stay in one form for more than 2 hours, you get stuck in that form. So it wasn't a weapon that stopped him. It was
the very nature of the morph
the very
powers.
nature of the morph power that he disobeyed.
You know, every time we play this game, I wish as a child I had listened more to the shit that my sister was obsessed with.
Was she
as
into
a child.
Animorphs and you
She was-
weren't?
well, because I just was like a little bit too old by the time that Animorphs came out, that I was like, those
You're
books
never
are for
too
children, and I read the adult fantasy books. Thank you so much. There's some very light, heavy petting in the books that I read, and that makes them more for grown-ups.
It's because like you can't almost divide it like by year. It's like that is appropriate for 8-year-olds. This is for 10-year-olds. This is about Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
With the exception of several featured hobbits, such as Rosie Cotton, women are few and far between in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. From the missing Entwives to the dwarf women hidden away under mountains, only 3 named female characters feature prominently in the film trilogy: Galadriel, Arwen, and Éowyn. Allie.
Actually, Gollum is a woman.
I don't know how Gollum is identifying these days.
Actually, that spider Shelob is a
That's
female.
correct. That is 100%
No
correct.
way,
That's what we're
really?
going for. Yes.
That's amazing.
That was supposed to be a feeble joke answer.
No, Shelob
my
is 100% woman, and she features prominently in the film.
Wait,
Éowyn
she's a
also-
spider.
Oh, sure, she's a spider, but she's still a she. I like how
Okay.
you're arguing your own
won't.
point. Like, it's bullshit. I shouldn't get a
No,
point
I
for
mean,
this.
get a
gender's a
point.
construct, but I feel like she's a female, but is she a woman, really?
I also said only 3 named female characters.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh, you did say
I said-
female
I said
characters?
3 named female characters.
Send those
feature
points on
prominently.
over.
Snag that joke point and treat it as their own child.
On the board.
On the board.
Feels great.
Here come the Men in Black. Galaxy Defenders. The story of the Men in Black, Earth's clandestine defense against a galaxy full of strange civilizations and species, starred Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith, and featured Smith's first solo single post-Jazzy Jeff called Men in Black, which earned him a Golden Raspberry at the Razzies. Allie.
Actually, he didn't receive a golden raspberry. That's crazy.
That's correct. There was no Golden Raspberry for that song. In fact, that song won a Grammy.
It's a great song. I miss the time when there were fun rap songs about
Yeah.
what happened in the
Wild
movie
Wild
after
West.
the movie. I
Wild
just
Wild
want-
West won the Golden Raspberry. All right, this brings us to our very first shiny question of the game. Now, shiny questions are just like shiny Pokemon in that they're basically exactly the same. They're only a little bit different and a little bit rarer. So this is a little mini game that we're calling Name That Witch. In just a moment, you'll be given a grid. Don't turn it around yet. When you turn it around, you'll see a grid of 20 different witches from TV, movies, books, and it's up to you to name as many as you can. Whoever can name the most and be the first to buzz in will get the point.
Wow.
Great.
Great.
All right, and go. Three, two, one. That is it for witch time. Who has the most?
I think I have 6 that are right.
Cool.
I also have 6 that are right.
I maybe like 5.
All right, so we'll go through here. Okay, left to right, top to bottom, we have Tiffany Aching from the Discworld series and the We Free Men, Ogra from the Dark Crystal, the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus, Phoebe Halliwell from Charmed, Elphaba from Wicked, Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, Yubaba from Spirited Away, Minerva McGonagall from Harry Potter, Ursula from The Little Mermaid, Mad Madam Mim from The Sword and the Stone, then from Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Eglantine Price, Samantha Stevens from Bewitched, Sabrina Spellman from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Willow Rosenberg from Buffy, Broomhilda from Looney Tunes, Glinda the Good Witch from The Wizard of Oz, Zatanna from DC Comics, Jadis, or the White Witch from The Chronicles of Narnia, Julia Wicker from The Magicians, and Serafina Pekkala from the His Dark Materials series. And Siobhan got more than anyone else with 8 correct answers. That gives her the point.
Girl power, baby.
Yeah.
Witch power.
I wrote a witch joke.
Great.
Okay. Why do witches have names like Serafina and Eglantine?
Why?
Why?
Because they're good at spelling. It would be difficult to spell the names, and they cast
We're just
spells.
gonna loop that for the whole episode. Just that one joke over and over again.
How many points is that joke worth?
-1. You noticed some mistakes that we made in the last episode, and here they are. At Kaginozak or something says, actually, in one episode you bring up Princess Mononoke. You refer to the boars as the boars of the forest, but at that point, it's Lord Akoto's boars, who are from a different mountain. Yep, those boars are from a different place. At Deep Scribe says, actually, when Klingon is transliterated to English, capitalized letters are pronounced differently from uncapitalized ones. This should actually read, Heglumech Kach Javjan. Do not correct my pronunciation, I know it's wrong. And from our Dropout Discord, Sissant says, Sarah Angel is 2 white and 3 generic, not 2 white and 3 colorless. Colorless was made into its own mana type, distinct from generic, back in 2016 with the release of Oath of the Gatewatch, receiving its own mana symbol. I am so sorry for this oversight. This is about Pokemon. In the Pokemon TV show, most Pokemon communicate by saying their name over and over again in a way that is definitely not annoying. There are some exceptions. At least one Meowth can speak like a human, Charizard never says his name, and Mr. Mime doesn't make any sound at all.
Actually, it is annoying.
It is annoying, but that's just a little bit of editorializing on my part. Allie.
Actually, Mr. Mime does say his name.
That's correct. Mr. Mime, a mime-based Pokemon, just screams his name over and over again.
You know what? If a mime was out on the street doing street art and just screamed their name over and over again, I would probably be more inclined to give them money than I do now.
It's such a deep misunderstanding of what a mime is supposed to do. Like, if you have a mime that's just going like, mime, mime. Like,
There's one other annoying Pokemon that's like, Scyther! You
Which
guys
one?
remember that one? His name's
Jigglypuff.
Mr. Mime.
My favorite is Jigglypuff because she sings.
Oh my god.
And then sends everybody to sleep and then just draws on their faces. Which is,
Jigglypuff is so cute and femme, and then she sings and then writes like dicks on everyone's faces.
it's great.
we're moving on. This is about Arthurian myth. I don't know how you all are up on your Arthurian myth, but here it comes.
I think I can pull this one out.
Yeah.
It's a Sword in the Stone reference.
When only a boy, young Merlin is brought to the court of King Vortigern, who has tried 3 times to build a castle in the same spot, only to have it crumble and collapse. Merlin is to be killed and his blood sprinkled on the ground to prevent future collapses, but the boy saves his own life when he reveals that Vortigern is not truly the king, which is why his castle keeps collapsing. Siobhan.
Actually, and this is very dependent on which Arthurian myth legend that you're talking about, but
Sure.
if we're doing Sword in the Stone, Merlin ages backwards, and so definitely would not have been a boy at the time of Vortigern's reign, which was before the reign of Arthur when he was an old man, so he would have been older during Vortigern's reign.
I like the pedantry. That's not what we're going for here.
Actually, you say when only a boy, young Merlin. But if he ages backwards, then it would be when only an old man, young Merlin.
This is brilliant.
This is what, you're just trying to reword Siobhan's
I just
correction.
kind of feel like I'm saying.
Got a great point.
You know, this is delightful
this is
because
new and
normally when I
legit.
say something and then somebody else rewords it but louder, it's a man that does it.
Yeah.
Actually, Merlin ages backwards.
God damn it.
Fucking damn it.
All right, I'm saying no one gets this point. The castle is collapsing. It has nothing to do with whether or not Vortigern is truly the king. The castle is collapsing because there are 2 dragons living underneath the hill who are moving around and making that old castle collapse. Nothing to do with being the true king or not. Just
Oh,
building on top of dragons. That is unstable foundation.
You know
That
what?
is
You gotta
crazy.
get an engineer in before you start building. That's
Yeah.
like real basic. You gotta
Yeah.
check for sand. You gotta check for aquifers. You gotta check for dragons.
Wood
Yeah.
damage, termites,
Oh my goodness.
dragons.
Dragons.
This is about Doctor Who. The BBC series Doctor Who depicts the adventures of a time-traveling humanoid alien, Time Lord, named Doctor Who explores the universe in a ship that looks like a blue British police box.
Actually, his name is not Doctor Who.
Oh, his
is
name's
the
not Doctor Who. He's just the Doctor.
It's like Nerd 101.
It is a
over
little
here.
nerd one. You might be focusing on the what is it, Allie?
Actually, is this the Tauntus?
The TARDIS. Fucking piece of shit.
point or no
Stop disrespecting my franchises.
TARDIS.
TARDIS, time and relative dimension in space.
This brings us to our second shiny question in a game we call Order Up. Now, an enormous portion of science fiction stories take place in a dystopian future, either in Arctic wastelands or tyrannical autocracies. Place the following dystopias in chronological order. And go. Yep, Siobhan is buzzing in. Let's see what you got.
It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Mm-hmm.
This is some fucking Nazi shit.
Uh-huh.
2015, baby. This is in the near future because they still have similar cars. Don't know what the fuck this shit is,
But you're putting it at the
but I'm
end.
putting it at the end.
Well, you have some small errors in explanation, but this order is correct, so we'll give you the point. That is, in fact, long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away. The next one is 1984. That's obviously in 1984. Biftan's Pleasure Palace, that is in the dystopic version of 1985.
Oh.
Yeah, roughly present day for The Walking Dead. And then this is from The Time Machine, hundreds of thousands of years in the future.
I had it right too.
Damn, well, you gotta be faster on that buzzer.
I also did.
Yeah, you don't get to see it.
I knew that it was 1984, not a Nazi thing. Do I somehow get a point for knowing
You
that?
get the satisfaction of knowing that you knew something that your peers did not.
It's a lot of what this
But
game
you
is.
don't get a point. But to be fair, points are also just the satisfaction that you know something your peers did not.
That's fair.
We're all losers here. Now, of course, we're not perfect either. If you notice something that you think that we got wrong, you can correct us. Just tweet at @actuallyshow and tell us what you think we got wrong. You might even get a point out of it, which remember, is worth absolutely nothing. Well, our next question is about the His Dark Materials series.
Actually, Serafina.
No. But you're in the right universe.
Yeah. Just excited about that.
Lee Scoresby, the American aeronaut, uses his marksmanship and hot air ballooning skills to help Lyra, and is eaten by his close friend, Yorick Burnison.
Actually,
Yes, Zach.
Yorick Burnson wasn't his close friend?
They're friends, they're buddies, yeah.
Actually, they don't call it hot air ballooning in the world of Lyra's Oxford.
That's a very funny guess, because that totally would be. It's like, we've got methane bulbs. Yeah.
Aeromancy.
Yeah.
This woman?
Actually, Lee was not American.
That's correct.
Really?
Lee Scoresby is not American. He is Texan, which in Lyra's universe, Texas is its own unique
For
place.
Christ's sake.
So,
That is fantastically nitpicky.
yes. But yeah, Yorick does eat him.
That's
Why?
crazy. I don't remember that at all.
Like he's already like dying or dead, and it's like this is how we like honor our dead is like through consuming.
Oh, God.
Hey, here's some stuff about Miyazaki. Fuck yeah.
God. Oh, God.
Miyazaki's films are an incredible gateway into Japanese folklore, with each movie introducing us to a new spirit for the very first time, such as the Kodama in Princess Mononoke, or the Susuwatari, or Dust Bunnies, in Spirited Away. Zach.
Actually, the Dust Bunnies weren't in Spirited Away.
The Dust Bunnies are in Spirited Away.
I thought if I said it confidently,
Yeah, no,
maybe I would
that's
trick
great.
you.
That'll get you through a lot of.
Actually, the Dust Bunnies are in My Neighbor Totoro.
I'm gonna give you the point. What? They are in Spirited Away, but they're not introduced in Spirited Away. They're introduced in My Neighbor Totoro.
I'm surprised at the strong, genuine emotion I felt when that happened. It was a bigger jolt than I expected.
This is an injustice that has been done.
Can we split the point?
That was
Can
me
it be
moving past it.
4.5, 1.5?
I would allow that if our podium would, allow it. So I'm very sorry, but we are moving on to our last shiny question for the game. This is a game called Cryptogeography. Monster folklore comes to us from all over the world. When you flip this around, you're going to see a map of the world in the middle and a number of monsters on the side. I want you to place the monsters on the map from the country that they're from. And go. Let's see what we got here. Zach, why don't you walk us through who these are and where they're from?
The Headless Horseman is from New York.
Uh-huh.
Harpies are from Greece. Yetis are from Nepal. Selkies are from Ireland.
Yep.
Domovoi sounds very Russian or Slavic to me. And I think I put La Llorona as Mexico.
You are correct with the Headless Horseman, La Llorona. You're correct with the Selkie, the Harpy, and Domovoy is Russia. I don't think Siobhan beats that.
What about me?
I don't think Ali beats that. Here's the correct answer. The Chonchon is from southern Chile, the Adzi is from Ghana, and the Tanifa is from New Zealand. But it doesn't matter because you still got more of these monsters than either Siobhan or Ali, so that is a point for Zach.
Yes.
This brings us to our final question.
By my math, this is not going to go well for me.
What happens if Ali and I tie?
It's just a
Do
tie.
we fight?
You can if you want. It won't stop you.
I just break your glasses.
It now goes to physical challenge. All right. As always, our final question concerns real-life skills. These are just skills that could be handy to have IRL. Help is never more important than when you're caring for an infant. Children under the age of 1 should be given natural honey instead of processed sugar, whole grain porridges like oatmeal, and pureed vegetables like peas and sweet potato. Siobhan.
Actually, babies should not be given raw sugar because there is a risk of bacterial infection. Raw honey.
That's
what I meant.
You should not give children under the age of 1 honey because it could induce infant botulism. So that is a point in the real world for Siobhan.
Yes!
Now, let the fight begin! Bring in the
covered in blood.
blades! Choose your weapon! It's like the floor drops down into a pit.
The next shiny question is your blood on the floor.
Release the lions! Give them ropes! And that's it for this episode. Join us next time for even more hyper-specific pedantic corrections here on Actually.